drunk neither wine nor strong drink, but I've poured out my soul before the Lord. And she went on, and count not thy handmaid for a daughter of Belial. That should be a small b, not a capital B there. I mean, a worthless person, if you look down there. For out of the abundance of my complaint and grief I have spoken hitherto. Then Eli, the prophet now, answered and said to her, Go in peace. He blessed her, in other words. And the God of Israel grant thee thy petition thou hast asked of him. And so she went in peace, and she became pregnant. And she did have a son, Samuel, who became the prophet. And then she later went on to have 5 other children. And I didn't even mention future. She had 4 boys and 2 girls, just like you had. So, I don't know, that's neither here nor there, but I just thought that was kind of interesting. So, verse 27, For this child I prayed, and the Lord hath given me my petition which I asked of him. And therefore I have lent him to the Lord. As long as he liveth, he shall be lent to the Lord, and he worshiped the Lord there. So here we've got a corroborating story, a corroborating witness of the same type of a response to a woman 1,000 years before. And her response was that she magnified the Lord. After she had the child, she came back to the temple every year. After she had given her child to be raised at the temple after he had been weaned, she came back every year, talked with him, gave him a new coat, representative, I think, quote, similar to what was given to Joseph of old, like a coat in many colors, and so she magnified the Lord. I have a modern example now, just a person who is a teacher at Brigham Young University, and is just giving his testimony of how he magnifies the Lord in his day-to-day understanding of what the Lord has done for him. So I hope those of you in the back can hear this. This is not too good of a speaker, but we'll try here.
It's not just ethical teachings, not just powerful dynamic miracles, but that the tomb is empty, that the atonement was performed. The good news, the gospel, is defined in the book of Mormon even more explicitly in 3 Nephi chapter 27, where Jesus says, This is my gospel, that I came into the world to do the will of the Father, that I might be lifted up, that I might draw all men to me. The good news of the Gospels of Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John is just not a recounting of the story. It is that there really was an atonement, that there really is salvation, that Jesus really is not only the Messiah, but literally the Son of God, and had power and healing in his wings. That makes the good news. The stories, the ethics, are really secondary. The gospel is that Jesus is the Christ.
For those who know it, that includes the 11, the 7 who were on.
And so that is why she rejoiced. She said she rejoiced. We read of Zechariah, the husband of Elizabeth, in the same chapter. And he gave his testimony afterwards. And he magnified the Lord. Because we're out of time, we can't read that right now. But you read that. And read what he said caused him to rejoice, which is what this brother from the faculty of Department of Religion at BYU was saying. That the Savior came not just to perform miracles, not just to teach good ethical principles. That was really secondary. I mean, there are lots of others who performed miracles. And there are many more than that who gave good ethical teachings. But he came to do much more than that. He came to heal souls. He came to not just raise the dead, but to raise the living. He came to save all of his brothers and sisters who would be saved, who would be willing to be saved. And he came for the whole purpose of trying to get us to step up in our lives, to magnify him in our sight, in the sight of anybody we have influence with, anybody within the pale of our influence, to not let our light so shine or be hidden under a bushel. When the Savior was giving his great Sermon on the Mount in Matthew chapter 5, he was up in the northern part of the lake, the Sea of Galilee. And he said, the city hid under